You lift the glass, you take the first sip, and a countdown begins inside your body that will run all the way until tomorrow morning. That single drink is about to take a guided tour through your organs, and at every stop, it changes something. It will slip into your blood in minutes, cross into your brain, and quietly turn down the volume on your own nervous system. Force your liver into overtime, handling a genuine poison, and drain the water out of you while you are not looking. Both the buzz you feel tonight and the misery you feel tomorrow come from specific physical events. Follow one drink through the body, and the whole strange experience of getting drunk and paying for it finally makes sense. It starts moving almost immediately. Alcohol is a tiny molecule that does not need to be digested the way food does, so it slides straight through the walls of your gut into your bloodstream. About a fifth of it crosses through the lining of your stomach, and the rest through the small intestine just below. That is why drinking on an empty stomach hits so hard and so fast. With no food in the way, the alcohol reaches the intestine and floods into your blood within minutes, with the level in your blood usually peaking somewhere around half an hour to an hour after you drink. Eat first, and the food acts like a gate, holding the alcohol in your stomach longer and slowing everything down. Once it is in your blood, it does not target any one place. It dissolves into the water in your body and spreads to every tissue you have, which is part of why the same drink affects two people so differently. A larger person has more body water to dilute it, so the same glass reaches a lower concentration. Everywhere your blood goes, the alcohol goes, and the organ it affects most is the one giving all the orders, your brain. Here is the fact that surprises people. Alcohol is not a stimulant. It does not rev you up. It is a depressant, and it works by hijacking your brain's own braking system. Your nervous system runs on a balance between chemicals that speed neurons up and chemicals that slow them down. The main brake is a messenger called GABA, the neurotransmitter your brain uses to calm itself, to say, enough, settle down. Ethanol slips across into the brain and makes that brake far more powerful than normal. It amplifies GABA and muffles the signals that excite neurons, so your whole brain shifts into a slower, quieter gear. Everything you feel when you drink is that braking spreading across different regions. Watch it move through the brain, and the stages of drunkenness line up perfectly. First, it dampens the prefrontal cortex, the careful, self-monitoring front of the brain that normally weighs consequences and holds you back. Quiet that down, and the result feels like confidence and relaxation. You loosen up, you talk more, the worry lifts. That is not alcohol adding anything. That is your own restraint being switched off. Keep drinking, and the braking spreads to the areas that handle speech and fine muscle control, so words start to slur and your hands get clumsy. It reaches the cerebellum, your balance and coordination center, and now you are unsteady on your feet. The brain region that files new memories, the hippocampus, gets muffled too, which is why heavy nights leave gaps you cannot recall. It was never stored. Push far enough, and the braking reaches the deep, primitive parts that run automatic functions like breathing and heart rate, which is exactly why very high doses are dangerous. The same mechanism that made you chatty at the start can, taken far enough, slow the body down to a stop. While your brain is enjoying all that enforced calm, one organ is not having a good time at all: your liver. Your body treats alcohol as a toxin it needs to destroy and remove, and nearly all of that cleanup falls on the liver, which processes it on a strict, unhurried schedule. It uses an enzyme called alcohol dehydrogenase to break ethanol down, but the middle step of that process creates something genuinely nasty. The ethanol is first converted into a chemical called acetaldehyde, and acetaldehyde is considerably more toxic than the alcohol you drank. It is the real villain of the whole story. That flushed face, the queasy stomach, the poisoned feeling of one drink too many, a lot of it is acetaldehyde building up in your system. The liver rushes to convert it into a harmless substance called acetate, which the body can burn off safely, but it can only work so fast. That speed limit is the crucial part. Your liver clears roughly 1 standard drink per hour, and that rate is essentially fixed. You cannot speed it up. Not with coffee, not with a cold shower, not with willpower. Drink faster than 1 an hour, which is easy to do, and the alcohol and the toxic acetaldehyde stack up in your blood faster than the liver can clear them, and you get progressively drunker as the backlog grows. This is also why nothing sobers you up except time. Coffee can make a drunk person a wide-awake drunk person, alert but just as impaired, because caffeine does nothing to help the liver do its slow chemical work. Only the clock does that. Now for the part your body is setting up for tomorrow. Alcohol quietly attacks your water balance. Deep in your brain sits a gland that releases a hormone called vasopressin, whose job is to tell your kidneys to hold on to water. Alcohol suppresses that hormone. With the signal switched off, your kidneys stop conserving and start dumping water, which is why a few drinks send you to the bathroom again and again, passing more fluid than you actually drank. Slowly, over the course of the night, you dry out. That growing dehydration is behind the classic morning symptoms: the desperate thirst, the dry mouth, the pounding headache, as even the brain loses a little of its fluid cushion. Which brings us to the hangover, and the honest answer is that it is not one thing, but several piling up at once. The dehydration is a big piece. The leftover acetaldehyde your liver has not finished clearing is another, still irritating your system. Alcohol also wrecks the quality of your sleep, so you wake unrested even after a full night in bed. And it stirs up mild inflammation throughout the body. On top of all that, your brain spent the night with its brakes jammed on, and as the alcohol finally clears, it overcorrects, leaving you rattled, anxious, and sensitive to light and noise. The comedown is your nervous system rebounding from all that artificial calm. Every unpleasant part of a hangover is the bill for a specific thing the alcohol did the night before. So that is the full journey of a single drink, absorbed through your gut in minutes, muffling your brain by boosting its own calming signal, broken down by a liver that can only work 1 drink an hour and makes a toxin along the way, and draining your body of water by silencing a single hormone. None of it is mysterious once you can see the machinery. Your body handles alcohol the way it handles a poison, methodically and at its own pace. And both the fun and the suffering are just different stages of that same process. Your Body Explained. This is Bodyling.